Homelessness in our community has continued to rise over the last couple of years. It's easy to see in Chattanooga, and waiting lists for some kind of housing placement are long and getting longer. But here's what's harder to see. Thousands of people who have experienced homelessness in the last couple of years are actually in housing now.
Since Mayor Kelly came to office, there's been over 2,000 people that have been placed into housing and direct work from our Office of Homelessness and Supportive Housing and our wonderful community partners that go out every single day and try to serve people. Our system's performing better than it ever has, and our returns to homelessness remain low.
For most people who experience homelessness, it's temporary. They get back into housing on their own or with the help of local agencies. Some people, though, are chronically homeless. Many of them have disabling conditions and they need more than just a place to stay. That's where the idea of permanent supportive housing comes in.
So permanent supportive housing is two things. It's housing with a subsidy to make it affordable to people that are living in extreme poverty and experiencing homelessness. And two, it is dedicated support services that are available to that person while they're in that housing for as long as they need it.
We would need at least 450 permanent supportive housing units in Hamilton County to house everyone who's chronically homeless. Right now, Hamilton County has around 160 permanent supportive housing units in use. Another 75 units are in the works. The city of Chattanooga is in the process of renovating the Airport Inn on Lee Highway, which they now own. The city plans to provide each resident with a dedicated case manager and access to support services like mental health care and drug and alcohol counseling. Wolf believes that if we had sufficient permanent supportive housing available, we could end chronic homelessness in our community. In fact, at least 4 communities of various sizes across the country have ended chronic homelessness. An 18-county region in southwest Minnesota is one of them. Justin Vorbach, who worked in that region, believes that any community can end chronic homelessness with the right focus.
So it's scalable. It's just a matter of using data to say we need this much permanent supportive housing for high need, disabled, chronically homeless. We need this much affordable housing for homeless or non-homeless.
Here in Chattanooga, Tracy Hefner works closely with people living in housing provided by the Chat Foundation, previously known as the Community Kitchen. She's seen firsthand how permanent supportive housing can impact someone's life.
Yes. Research shows that it works, and so that's a good thing. The folks that we have in our housing now, the majority of them have been there for a couple of years, so that's a real success. That is a very good success.
Leonard Jenkins lives with his 2 sons in an apartment owned by the Chat Foundation.
Every time I pick up the phone or call, they're there. And one day, they say, oh, we can't do it. They'll say, well, we'll see what we can do, but guess what? Give them 2-3 hours. They walking down the street with a buggy of food. If I got no food in the house, I got some now.
Service providers agree it will take public resources and a long-term commitment to end homelessness. But providing housing and the right services for people just makes sense to them on a number of levels.
You look at the cost of jail, emergency room visits, psychiatric hospitalizations, all these things are super expensive. And that's just an economic argument. But there's, the human argument too. People shouldn't have to be homeless, so.